think this just might be my masterpiece.
I know. Where's all the Harryhausen reviews? Well, last month I wanted to focus primarily on sort of horror themed and horror adjacent stuff. And look, I don't want to be Linkara over here, but I was busy with, stuff. Plus, I've been deathly ill for the last week, but we're back on track now. And while I fully confess there are quite a few films we'll cover in the coming months that I've never seen, as it stands now, the height of Harryhausen for me is The Seventh Voyage of Sinbad. A film, like Willy Wonka always says, that's pure imagination. Starting with the direction, Nathan Euron returns for an even flashier showcase of his talents. This movie is just gorgeous. There's something about this era, the vibrancy of it, that's just God, why did movies ever stop looking like this? The blues are so blue, the greens are so green, every frame is fucking beautiful. It's also a much better showcase of Ray's talents. The horror and sci-fi of the other movies seem to rein him in a bit, but give the guy a fantasy film. Come on, you're gonna watch magic happen. The Cyclops, the dragon, the skeleton fight near the end, the giant two-headed vulture, and my personal favorite, the snake woman dancing sequence. But this film is more than just effects. The central plot is fun and efficient. It's a great, rousing action adventure movie, even 70 years later. And the cast is pretty strong here. I think Kerwin Matthews is a super underrated leading man. He really never got to shine in any non Harryhausen movie, but he's very likable in this. He's not Harrison Ford. There's not much to Sinbad as a character, but I think he really deserves credit for this central performance, especially. Also, want to give credit to Torrin Thatcher as the villainous sorceress Sakura, who's a perfect mix of charmingly hammy but kind of menacing too. The atmosphere of Seventh Voyage really is second to none. I've already mentioned the wonderfully colorful visuals, but Sinbad is such a great character from mythology, a hero no less compelling and timeless than Hercules or Aladdin, but one who too often gets short shrift in the broader conversation. One of the things that's always captivated me about the Sinbad tales is that they're focused on exploration. They are centrally about spectacle, sailing off to strange lands, doing battle with the creatures there. This is the perfect source material to hand to a guy like Ray Harryhausen. It is absurdly tailored to his skill set. It's just as endearing and creative as any of the classic Disney fairy tales, but it's more action heavy and exciting than some of them. That's really the best source of comparison. I mean, Walt had nothing to do with it, but you can almost feel the influence of Disney here. The 50s were a great era for them, one we'll probably cover in the future, and their fingerprints are on Seventh Voyage, even though it's a different company and creative team. Speaking of Disney, the romance in the film is something I really didn't expect to enjoy as much as I did. Again, it's not the deepest, but Catherine Grant is nothing short of hypnotic as the princess, and I do buy her and Sinbad's romance, which, if you're not aware, is something of a rarity among 50 genre pictures. Look, I can be here all day gushing about this movie, and the best thing I could say is go watch it. The Seventh Voyage of Sinbad is the top of the mountain for Harryhausen movies, and a fantasy film that deserves to be mentioned in the same breath as Fellowship of the Ring and Wizard of Oz. And of course, worthy of a 10 out of 10.